All right, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's introduce. Once again, this is Tasha Mdada, Trade Whisper, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. And this call is really and truly designed for you. It's designed to assist you with the true understanding of how you actually move in from the academy to being your own bank. And so this is how we ultimately get started. And that's what this call is designed to do. This call is truly designed for you to bridge that gap. So I want you all to begin to drop those affirmations in the chat because where we always start is our mindset. But I also would like to know who's on the call because if this is your first time here with us this evening, let me get a 111 in the chat. If you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222. And if you are already cashing out, let me get a 777. All right, let me say welcome and welcome back. Welcome, 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 and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And so where we're going to start this evening is just really helping you all understand the mindset perspective of it. Now, if you are new to this call, you're new to the movement, and you've begun your journey, how many of you all have gone to our website? So I'm actually going to start there with you all this evening, okay? Because we're going to start with the mindset. We're going to start with those affirmations. So, that's what we're going to start this evening. All right. And I want to know, so let's talk affirmations for just a moment. All right. Let's talk affirmations. It's I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. Are you with me? I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in profit. I am 777. Now, I'm quite sure you're wondering what that means because the reality is you see that each and every single day. You see that on each and every single call. Have any of you all ever wondered why, right? Have any of you all ever wondered why is it necessary? Why is that important? Well, how many of you all have seen people wish for something? How many of you all have seen people wish but then manifest through negative affirmations? We've heard people, oh, I can't win for losing, or I, just all the negative energy that comes with that, and they wonder why things don't shift. Okay, well, the reality is it doesn't shift because of your mindset. And so it's so important that you all walk in the understanding and with the mindset and the importance that you are destined for greatness, with the true understanding that you deserve success. How many of you all believe that? How many of you all believe that you deserve success? Put a 555 in the chat. And yes, I see the stream as well. If you believe that you deserve success, all right. If you believe that it's destined, if you believe that you're a billionaire right now, if you believe you're a billionaire right now, put a 777 in the chat. Do you believe that you're a billionaire right now? And so it's not about what you think you might be. It's about what you believe in this moment and what you're going to manifest. And this is why we start every call with affirmations. It's why we start every call with the mindset, the development, okay? So when you drop that in the chat, it's very intentional. I am an educated, you see that? I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. That means that you're approaching the charts with a true understanding that you deserve this. You're approaching the charts with a true understanding that this is yours for the taking. Now, who can get excited about that? Who can get excited about the true understanding that this is the destiny, this is the vehicle to your wealth? I am the signal, which means that you see the charts, which means that you can analyze the charts, which means that you embrace the educational journey because we enroll, we learn, we profit, right? We enroll, we learn, we profit. And so we're embracing that because we are the signals. All my trades end in profit. Yes, it's a 92% accuracy rate. That means that there is an 8% room. But guess what? We affirm because we believe. How many of you all believe that your children are the greatest? How many of you all believe that you're the greatest to ever do it, right? So this is that mental mindset shift that we have to have. When this movement began, and we had the conversation with just the two of us, myself and Mr. Rogers, the reality is we began this journey and we began to understand that when we sat down, the affirmation in this moment is that this was the largest economic empowerment movement in the history of mankind. Now, how could it really be in that moment the largest economic empowerment movement in the history? In that moment, with the both of us sitting at the table, there was no kingdom currency, there was no global expansion, there was no Netherlands, no United Kingdom, there was no Africa, there was none of those things. There was not even another city. It was just Jacksonville, Florida. And so none of these things were there. So I want you to understand how important these affirmations are that you drop in the chat. So I am 777. 777 is the number that we drop in the chat when we begin these calls. That's what that's all about. And so first thing first is we must, first thing first is we must tap into our mindset. So I am a BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in profit. I am 777. Who's with me? Who's with me? And so before we ever touch a trade account, before we ever touch anything, where we start now, this is accessible through your app, so you can pull your app. But before we do anything, okay, we're coming to our BYOB success steps. And when we come to our BYOB success steps, you always want to start with that power start, your mindset and your business. So how many of you all, 555 in the chat, if you've actually come here first, before you touch the academy, before you got started with anything, you came here. You were directed to come to your power start. You power start your mindset and your business. How many of you have seen that? All right. So we know that we've seen that. We've also understand the importance of the movement. So these are our first steps. We always want to get started. So this is your basics call. This is that call that helps you integrate. But if you have not, I challenge you all to go back and watch it. And then this is a step-by-step tutorial. This is a step-by-step tutorial. You haven't seen it, I'm gonna highly encourage you tonight, you know, to go ahead and by tomorrow to watch these videos. So I'm very glad we're having this conversation because your mindset is always first. This is always your first step. Before you touch the charts, before you start trading, because yes, does it discuss your business? Absolutely it does. But it also discusses your mindset, and your mindset for business and trading is so ultimately important. And you'll truly understand. So after you watch this, I want you to ask yourself this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being that I'm ready to accept the challenge to be my own bank, right? So yes, we're all here for that reason, and build a business, which means that you want to expose people to this wonderful information. And 1 minute you're ready to accept the challenge to be your own bank. What's your number? So after you watch these, I want you to ask yourself that question and then get back with the person that invited you out and let them know your number. Let us know your number because we're here to assist you in that manner. But tonight we're going to focus on the skill set development because that's what this call is all about. But I do want, if anybody's on this line that wants the business side, that wants the business aspect, that will say that, yes, I'm a 10 and I want to be a BYOB change agent, then let us know because we do have separate calls that are strictly for business and we will encourage you and empower you in that process as well. But let's talk about your mindset. Okay, so very important. So are you all ready to embrace the charts? Are you all ready to embrace the educational aspect? But the power start is so important first, all right? And the BYOB is a movement first. So we must start there. Then after we go there, where you're gonna go is I'm gonna log back in, okay? We getting there. And when we log in, so this is that third video walks you through this process. So this is my IM.Center. This is where your educational journey begins. And so where I want to take you is to your academies, okay? I want to bring you to your academies. So in your academy, we're going to go to our Forex Academy. We always want to start here. And what you're going to see is that there is a series 100 and 200 that you must complete. So you'll notice that a lot of your questions, pre-K to postgraduate. So you start, like, what is Forex? The history, what's traded. I mean, it just really helps break down to you everything that you need to really get started. You know, what's a pip? So how many of you all on this call have completed my 100 series? How many of you all, let me get a 111 in the chat, and we've completed our 100 series. Awesome, 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 awesome. Now, what about our 200 series, okay? 200 series, where we start understanding how to set up trends, support and resistance. I will tell you, this is your lifeline. 200 series, 200, 200, 222 in the chat. So we're almost completed. Fantastic. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, we believe in hands-on, okay? We truly believe in hands-on. Trading plan, I cannot stress to you enough how significant that is. So now, before you get into your 300 series, because you haven't touched the charts yet, what's going to happen is you're now going to go to the YouTube channel. And from on the YouTube channel is when you begin to learn the BYOB cash out strategy. And that is where this call picks up. Now, our call schedule, because now there are some changes that are coming to our call schedule. And every time that we shift or make it an adjustment, it's always about you in mind. Is how do we further assist you? Because I will tell you, hands down, we have the best educators. Hands down, you know, we have people that love and care about you. Hands down, that's what this is all about. And we actually have some educators that are in training right now to facilitate this even further. So this is where we get those fire emojis. This is where we get excited. This is where that begins, because we know we have people that are consistently duplicating and dedicating their time to where they want to pay it forward. But what we do is really help you get started. And so that's where we want to begin tonight. And so I do want an assessment on this call. Have you all set up your accounts by any chance? Yeah, there we go. There go my fire emojis. Has any of you all actually set up your accounts? Are we there? Do we have our MetaTrader 4 downloaded? And do we understand the strategy to BYOB cash out? So do we have our MetaTrader 4 downloaded? And do we understand the strategy BYOB cash out? Yes, yes, yes. So yes, we do. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So knowing that, all right. So yes, yes, yes. So we're going to walk through that. So if anybody needs their MetaTrader 4 set up, you know, let me know. That's on this call tonight, because we'll walk through that as well. All right. We will walk through that as well. I want to make sure everybody. So please don't be shy. If you need that account set up, let me know. And we're going to walk through that. Okay. Now, if you are a guest on this line, then I'm going to highly encourage you to go ahead and get enrolled, and then we'll walk you through that process. But if you're new to this call, you're new to the movement, and you have not downloaded that yet, then we need to make sure you get taken care of, okay? So let's talk BYOB cash out, all right? Let's talk BYOB cash out. We have a trade that's playing out, but before we talk about that, we're going to talk about the BYOB cash out strategy. Now, there are a few things I definitely want you to understand when we talk about the tools, the BYOB cash out strategy, and we're going to talk about the vibrato for just a moment. Now, when you think about the vibrato, I don't want to unmark that one. That's not for this call, though. When you think about the vibrato, all right, I'm going to come back out of here and I'll come back to that, okay? When we think about the vibrato, what you're seeing is this is that home page, and this is our visionary. So I want you to understand how significant, you know, you being a part of this movement is. I want you to understand how significant, because this is our visionary. And he is actually the spokesperson for this tool. And as you can see, it says that you get to trade like the banks. So understand the position you're in. Well, we are so grateful for you all as well, right? We definitely are thankful, appreciative, and grateful. So definitely appreciative of you all. So when you see this, okay, Mr. Rogers is definitely someone who has a background in investment banking. And so this tool is very comparable to what the big banks of the world utilize, okay? This is very comparable. Now, let me ask you a question, because I hear it all the time. Do we not know that banks are some of the wealthiest institutions in the world? That banks, right? That's where all our money is sitting, right? So even if they didn't have their own money, they have ours. So are they not some of the wealthiest institutions in the world? Yes, no, or maybe so. I'm waiting on the chat. Right, they are. So think about it. If a bank uses a tool, why wouldn't we? If a bank uses a tool, why wouldn't we? Right? So banks are using tools. Banks use resources. So banks use tools. And so the reality is we should position ourselves to understand the same thing. Allow the tools to do the heavy lifting for us. And so we have one that's been vetted. And then we have a strategy called the BYOB cash out strategy that is very comparable to what the big banks of the world utilize, right? The tool, and then this is actually a market structure strategy. So I want you to understand, this is a market structure strategy, okay? That's what this is. So if it's a market structure strategy, I want to help you understand what the purpose of this call is this evening. So this evening, we're going to focus a little bit on the lower time frames, helping you all get very comfortable in the market. But this is no different than driving. You know, if you want to go from point A to point B, can I do it in a parking lot or do I do it on the interstate? I'm trying to get from my house to, I'm going out of town. Let's say I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and I want to go to Tampa. I want to go to Orlando. I want to go to Savannah, Georgia. Can I do that in the parking lot, or do I need to get on the interstate to facilitate that, to make that happen? Which one do I have to do? I have to get on the interstate. But can I learn how to drive on the interstate? Can I learn how to drive? Absolutely not. I'm not learning how to drive on the interstate. So the purpose behind it, understand that this is a market strategy. And the way that the market moves, okay, because I really want you all to really be with me. The way that the market moves is what we call a top-down approach. So the interstates, you know, I have a logistics background. It might be why I'm always talking about traveling and routes and different things. But, you know, understand that the higher time frames, when I look at these higher time frames, I don't care which one I click. When any one that I look at, the higher time frames help me see the big picture of the market. My higher time frames are going to help me see the big overall grand scheme of things as far as the market is concerned. However, the actual movement, I need to zone in. So what we do, all right, what we do is, because it's a market structure strategy, what we're going to do is really help you dive in and understand from a lower time frame perspective how to get comfortable with the market, how to begin taking your trades, and also how to begin, you know, just really getting a feel. But do not believe under any circumstances that you read the market on the lower time frames. Now, let me familiarize you with the vibrato just a little bit, all right? We're gonna familiarize you with this. We'll walk through the strategy and we'll help you understand it, all right? So the vibrato, okay? This is our premier tool. This is a tool we spend quite a bit of time on. You'll see this on every single call that you attend that we do. Now, these are your alerts. So these alerts, they are not signals, okay? When I'm looking here, you see this says potential buy, potential sell, keyword in that potential, okay? And they're triggered on different time frames. Now, every tool in every tool that's in the academy, every single tool, they all represent something different. They all are looking at the same market, but they're pulling a different programmed analysis, like something programmed inside of it that identifies something different. So the vibrato in particular identifies what we call corrections in the market. Now, I will tell you that we're getting comfortable tonight, but your support and resistance is your lifeline. All right, support and resistance is your lifeline. So that's how you understand, why did I pull up the academy? Support and resistance. I like to use the harmonic scanner to help you begin to identify the support and resistance lines, support and resistance. You know, getting started, you're going to understand how to dive in and look and see what you're looking for as far as how to enter a trade. But it does not negate your support and resistance, okay? You cannot get around that. So these are triggered at support and resistance lines, okay? These are triggered at support and resistance lines. And so you're not going to have a setup as soon as it triggers. I do want to be very clear. It's not going to be. a setup as soon as it triggers. What happens is it triggers in a correction as it identifies that there's a trade coming, okay? Now, across here, this is where your currency pair is, okay? Your currency pair. So here we have GBP USD. GBP is my base currency. USD is my counter currency, okay? GBP is my base currency. USD is my counter currency. So what that means is that my counter currency is purchasing the base currency. So this is the currency that's being sold. This is the one that's being bought. This is the one that's selling. So my base currency is being bought by my counter currency. And I'll explain you to what that means in a minute. Now you have all these different currencies. If I backed out of here, right? If I backed out of here, you'll see many different currencies popping up. You can find stocks, futures, Forex, right? Crypto, indices, right? There's anything that you want to trade is in there. Okay, so whatever your heart desires. Now, the time frames, okay? What this means is that for every minute, there's a new trade. I mean, not a new trade. There's a new candle at every minute. 5 minutes, that means it takes 5 minutes to get a candle. Let me make sure my countdown is on there. So now, guys, if you have questions, comments, or testimonies as we go through this, please chime in, drop it in the chat. Because that's what this call is for, is to really help you truly understand, you know, so please do not hesitate, drop it in the chat. That's the purpose behind this call. So you have your 5 minute, you have your 15 minute. So this means that every 15 minutes, then after 15 minutes, I'll get a new candle. So it's almost 9:30, it's 9:24 Eastern Standard Time. So at 9:30, we'll receive a new candle. So it's telling you that in 5 minutes, in 41 seconds, we'll get a new candle. So that's what that countdown to bar close is, okay? And so it's the same thing every 30 minutes, every hour, okay? Every 4 hours, every day. And it just goes up and up, okay? And you can see the market structure, market patterns. Now, no matter, I'm never trading on a time frame, okay? We're gonna walk through the strategy, and you'll see me pretty much every night this week. But you know what you're seeing, and it's going to gradually increase over the evenings so you can understand exactly what's taking place and how the market is working. So what you're looking at here is this is the market. Now I want you to pay attention as I come over to this section right here. The section that GBP USD is base currency, USD is called the counter currency. It's the counter currency. Whereas the countdown to bar closing is not closing. What happens is this is how long it takes to get a new candle. So if I'm on a daily, so this daily starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if I have a daily, then that means I have 19 hours and 34 minutes before I get another daily candle. So on this one, I have 3 hours and 34 minutes before I get a new 4-hour candle. So on the minute, for example, I have 9, 7, 6, 5. I'm about to get a new minute candle, and you'll see that jump back up to 60. And that's why I dropped so you can see it. See? So it went back up to a minute, and now you see the countdown starting again. So that just represents how much time is left on the time frame you're viewing before we get a new candle. That's what the countdown bar is, okay? Is there a settings button? Oh, so yes, let's go. So you see my settings down here. So I click the settings and you see where it says countdown to bar close. So countdown to bar close, and I click that. A lot of the times when you first log on, it's not highlighted, it's not clicked. So you do want to come down here and click that. So, and that way you can see it. You're very welcome. So now, come back over here. So what I'm looking for right here, where I have my GBP USD, there's a lot in here that we're not going to get into this evening, but for the purpose and the sake of the basics. So understand, and I'm going to walk through the strategy in just a moment, but there are two numbers here, okay? 2 numbers. Now, I want you to understand, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to tell you why. So if I had traditional Japanese candles, it's 1 number. Traditional Japanese candles, I have one number. When I move to Hikanashi candles, I have two. Hikanashi candles are what we call a trend candle, okay? It's a trend candle. So it's based on what's called an average bar. So that means that the candles, the previous market dictates that number. So it's an average number. So for one, whether you want it larger, so you can see the actual real price, because this will be closer to your broker price, okay? This will be closer to your broker. Or if you just want it larger or you want to know the difference, you have the actual price here. So this is the real market price, okay? This is that real market price. So, and this will be that average price, okay? The other one is that average price. Now, as I'm looking at this, okay, this is why I want you to understand there's no such thing as trading on the 4 hour, trading on the hour, trading on the 15. There's no such thing as that. When I'm looking, if I switch my time frames, does the number change? I'm not talking about the market moving. Does the number change? Now I'm on an hour. Did it change? I'm on a 30-minute. Did it change? I'm on a 5. Did it change? No, it doesn't. So you see the pipette moving, but you see that movement based on the market. So did it ever change based on the time frame that I'm on? Right? It never changed. So what that means is the market is the market is the market. I'm not trading on the 4 hour. I'm not trading on the 15. We analyze on different time frames. We analyze on different time frames, and we analyze each time frame represents something different. All right. I want to be very clear with that. Now, the other thing I want you to pay attention to across the bottom is you have your Forex pairs. I have my crypto alerts. I have my indices. And then I also have my metals, my commodities, okay? So all of these things are there. And so you just select the one that you want to look at. So these are the things that's important. Now, here, okay, where I have BYOB Cashout, I don't think you can see my pop-up. So I have to do a little something different. So I'm gonna do a new share and we're gonna pray we don't lose it, okay? Okay, so right here. So here, what you're looking at is when you come in, now I have a Mac, and so I have to make sure, so if you have a Mac, you see that if you're on your mobile or Mac, Safari, you have to save this, okay? Whether it's a desktop, the laptop, the cell phone, you have to save it here and here, okay? I don't focus on the programming, I'm just giving you the instructions, so I can't answer why. So what you wanna do is you wanna come in and you wanna make sure you select BYOB Cashout strategy, okay? Doesn't matter which one you put it at. Now, why is this important? Why is it in more than one space? Well, once again, it's not a scalping strategy. It's a market strategy. So you have your BYOB Cashout that's in your short term. You have it in your day intermediate, and then it should also be down at the bottom. But it's a market strategy, okay? It's a market strategy. Now, I typically have my cha-ching off because when I'm training, when I'm teaching, I keep it off. But if you like the cha-ching, that's why you don't hear it when I'm on here. But you can cut it on. Then also you have the option to have your dark mode off or on. So for those of you all, just so you can kind of see it, I'm gonna turn it off, you know, and then we'll see how it loads back up. But then I'm gonna end up turning it back on, just so you know. So dark mode off, the chart details, you know, that's what you see on the side. You want to keep those on. That's how you get that sidebar. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save for Safari, and then I'm gonna save. And then when I click save, I'm gonna have to reshare my screen because it's gonna go away. So here we go. And so now, remember, I just cut it off, right? So being that I cut it off, now it looks a little different, right? And I cut that bar off. So now it looks a little different. There it is. So now, and why am I showing you this? Some of you all like the white background. You like the light background. So I know that there are people with your vision, or you need some people just like the lighter backgrounds, okay? And so this actually will help you all, but I'm going back to the dark background real quick. All right, I'm gonna turn that back on for me. And so, but for some of you all, I already know you like the lighter background. So that's an option for you guys as well. Okay. So let me get this set back up real quick. Okay. Any questions, comments so far? Questions, comments, testimonies so far? Any. All right. Great. So now what I want to do is I want to help you all understand how to walk through the strategy. Okay. BYOB Cashout. Now, how many of you all have 111 in the chat if you have never taken a trade? 111 in the chat if you have never taken a trade. You have never taken a trade. So everybody on this call has at least taken one. Okay, so I have one person who has, okay, there we go. I have a few people that have not taken a trade. Okay, that's you. This call is for you. Now, not taking a trade, do you have your MetaTrader 4 downloaded? Your MetaTrader 4 downloaded, which is the trading app that we're going to need. Do you have that downloaded? Yes or no? So I got one no. While we're going through this, I want you to go to your app store. Okay, so one no. Go to your app store and download MetaTrader 4. Okay, go to your app store and download. Where's your app store or your Google Play Store? And I want you all to download your MetaTrader 4. I'm gonna walk you through the strategy, but I need that on your phone tonight. I need that on your phone tonight. Okay. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. Let's see. Now, let's talk about the BYOB Cashout strategy because I want you guys to understand how all of this works. So let's talk strategy, okay? I'm over here. Now, let's see what just happened. Nice little drop. Maybe we look like we had some news or something. So I do know that AUD, I have not, you know what, there's a training call. Now I'm curious to see. Somebody check the news and see if we had a red folder for me. One of my seasoned traders while I walk through this, check my red folders for me and see if we had any AUD news, NZD or AUD news for me. So now what you're looking at right here is the session that we're in, okay? So as you can see, now you have your London session, which is when we're on at 5 a.m. in the morning. Now, I'm gonna mind you, all of my times are going to be EST. That's what I'm talking about right now. So be mindful that all my times, so it's in the morning, nothing right now. Because that looked like a news spike. Let me see. I'm looking it up too. I was trying anyway. So something tomorrow, but that's what that looks like. So what we're looking at here is you have your, I got a mic, hot mic. All right. So what you're seeing, okay, is this, like I said, these are the sessions that we're trading in. And so just like when I just asked, do we have an AUD or an AUD or NZD, because those would typically be the markets that are open right now, right? So when we understand the markets that we're currently in and understand what's happening, you'll understand how the market is going to be reacting. Now, I know we didn't have confluence here, but I did want to kind of walk through that. But look, it just triggered again. That's a euro. Yeah, it just triggered again for a buy. So we'll walk through that, but I'm gonna walk you through the strategy. But that just looks like a news spike, because so it kind of messed my example up to a certain extent, but it's okay. So now let's talk the strategy, okay? Let's talk BYOB Cashout strategy, okay? And this is why it's so important, because it would have kept us out of this trade. So when we analyze a strategy and we understand what's happening in its totality, it will keep us out of the trade. So I'm gonna go to a clean chart, because this is, oh, that's not clean. This is what you're seeing, right? This is what you see when you first log on, okay? Can we all agree? This is what we're looking at when we first log in, right? So, okay, now thank you very much for that. Awesome, we got that MetaTrader 4 downloaded. Let's go, let's go. All right, so what I'm gonna do, like I said, is I'm gonna walk you through how to analyze, okay? And I do want the Euro AUD, because that is what we were looking at. Okay, so now what we're looking for, okay, I'm gonna go historical and then we'll come current, okay? I'm gonna go historical and then we'll come current. So what you're typically looking for, okay, what we're looking for is 3 steps, okay? Now, let me talk to you about the strategy itself, okay, and why it's important. So my stochastic, this is what we call a leading indicator. So I'm gonna drop this on here, okay? This is what we call a leading indicator. So this leading indicator means that it comes first. It's in the name, right? It's what I'm looking for first, what I'm looking for first and foremost. Now, these two are what we call lagging, all right? Lagging. Oops, nope, not what I'm trying to do. We want to get in here. I want to put lagging right here. Okay, these two are what we call lagging. Now, these two being lagging indicators, okay? My lagging and I have my leading. Okay, lagging. I have my lagging and my leading, my lagging and my leading, okay? So now, what does that mean, right? That means that leading comes first. And so it's like that because there is something that took place in the market. So let's talk price action for a minute. Because when you go through the academy, you're going to learn what's called price action. Do you guys remember that in the academy? Understanding like when they start talking about the candles, support and resistance, right? But you're still trying to put it together. But you can remember that you heard that or you saw that in a training, correct? Well, what price action traders do is they focus on price and action. So going back to our, actually, like, I do want to go back for just a moment is, let me see, this one is always the easiest one to really show you. Oops, maybe if I could type. This is always the easiest one to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So when we were here, one of the things that I didn't mention that I want to make sure is very clear is when I'm here, you see this, right? I talked about my base currency and my counter currency. This is price and all of this is your action. Price action. So, but this is that price. So if you were to go look up right now, how much it would be a US dollar, like I like using a dollar because most of us are familiar with the dollar, it will cost $1.20 for me to buy a GBP. So you see, this is the same market that traditional type, when we think about currency exchange, takes place in. This is that same market. So I have my GBP USD, it takes me $1.20 to purchase a GBP. So now that I understand that, what happens is a penny is too much because think about it, it's a $6.6 trillion a day market, right? So if I have $6.6 trillion a day moving through the market, then it's entirely too much money. Imagine how much money would be in a penny move. If the price went from 120 to 121, imagine how much money that would be when you really break it down. So what has happened is there is some add-on to break down that penny, and that's what we call a pips. That's that price and percentage. So that breakdown of the pennies is what we call pips, which is why it's important for you to understand, I don't care what you want to trade, but it's important for you to understand how to trade the Forex before we start touching indices, because indices hang out in front. So that's a whole point of a movement where when you're starting to learn, you start learning back here where, so we're dealing with fractions of a penny. If you know, for clarity, this is fractions of a penny. So being that this is fractions of a penny, this is what we call the pips. Okay, that's that percent. You know what I'm trying to say. That's that pip movement. And so this is that, like, this is just that breakdown that we're looking for. So this is the real market where if you were traveling, you see that, hey, I go to London, I need British pound. I'm gonna take $1.20 to get 1 British pound. When I'm leaving, my British pound is gonna give me $1.20. So what you're able to do in this call on this market from this perspective is profit on the movement. So it doesn't matter if the price is going up and down, we're profiting on the movement. You don't see my chart? Hold on. Now I'm looking at it through the stream. I see it. Is anybody else having that issue? Because I can see it on the stream. Can you guys see the chart? Because I'm looking on, I see the stream as well. Okay, great. So kind of maybe log off and log back in. Log off and log back in. Try that. Or pull a stream up, YouTube or Facebook or something, because we're streaming as well. So maybe you could pull one of those up. So now let's talk about this movement, okay? So now that you see that, let's talk about this movement. So with this movement, what we're looking for, like I said, this is price and this is the action. So what a price action trader is looking for, they're looking for support and resistance. Did you hear me say that already today? Support and resistance. They're looking for a trend, and so inside of here, right, in my stochastic, I have my moving average. So what that is looking at is what has taken place in the past, what's taken place in the past that's actually giving me like the moving average, the statistics. And so you notice that on every time frame, my stochastic is different because it's going to be based on the time frame that I'm on. And so that's what that is. And now that tomorrow night, like I said, we're going to be progressive. I'm going to be here with you guys this week, next week on these evening calls. And so what you're going to see is the progression of how the market and the time frames interact together. But today is about getting you comfortable in taking a trade. Okay. Now, what we're looking for is we're going to start here on my 15-minute chart. Okay. We're going to start here. So here on my 15-minute chart, remember, this is leading, this is lagging. So I'm looking for that stochastic. Now, for those of you all, because I know I get it, you're like, wait, the stochastic's not around the 80 or the 20. So when we're getting started, your focus, when you understand the market and the structure, then you can see how the stochastic will push and go. Like I know you see Ms. Graham on the morning calls and you see like the stochastic's not at the 20 and they're like, well, wait, this, because there's a bigger understanding of how the market plays, the support and resistance, the zones, all of those things are very, very important. So I'm brand new though. I'm in the parking lot. I'm getting very comfortable with the market. So my stochastic on my 15-minute chart needs to be around this 20, okay? That's where it needs to be. Then I'm looking for my lagging indicators. I really don't care which one comes first, but they're both lagging. And so what you're seeing is that green candle with a flat bottom and that PSAR flip to the bottom. All right, you with me? So you notice my PSAR started way back here. It started way back here. But I was at the top of my stochastic. We're not taking a trade or starting a trade back there. So you notice that even though my PSAR was here, I never had an alignment of my candles until we got about right here. So let's put an arrow right there. Any questions on this part right here? Now, it's never going to be picture perfect, okay? Because I know you, ideally, you would have wanted this to be back over here, but we have to wait for the lineup. And let me help you. I'm not looking for the second or third candle. I'm not looking for any of that because I understand these are Hikinashi candles. Hikinashi translate. That's what they do. My Hikinashi candles translate. That's what my Hikinashi candles do. So they interpret what my Japanese candles are saying. So all you're doing is looking for the setup, okay? You with me? You with me? Okay, good. So now I have all three things that I need on my 15-minute. However, what do we already talk about? What do we already talk about in the beginning? What do we already talk about? We talked about my lower time frames. I'm in the parking lot. So they don't control anything. To get from one place to another, what do I need to do? I need to be on the interstate. So that's where my time frame confluence comes in. So I need to see what's going on my higher time frame. Now, let me help you. My stochastic is a non-negotiable. It is completely a non-negotiable. So there is absolutely no way when I come to my confluence, okay, let's put a drop down, let's put a horizontal line right here. When I come here and I'm looking at this, confluence means alignment. Confluence means alignment, right? That's what confluence means, right? That's what That's what confluence means. It means alignment. So when I look at that, I'm looking for a buy. That's why I put that arrow right here. I'm looking for a buy. My stochastic, which is my leading indicator, is in a sell, right? It's in a sell, correct? So would I even consider a buy? My candle's red too. The only thing I have is a piece of what I buy right here. I don't care how much of alignment this is in. Would I take this buy? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is where your discipline, the trade plan, and everything else comes in. Now, this is where it gets tricky to you. It gets not to me. It gets tricky to you because some of you all like to push the envelope. Here, I have a green candle, right? I have a green candle. I have a PSR. Would I take that buy? Would I take that buy? Somebody, okay, I got some no's. Somebody tell me why not. Somebody tell me why not. Tell me why not. Drop it in the chat. Why would I not take that buy? Put it. The stochastic is a non-negotiable. Absolutely, it's pointed down. I do not have alignment. I did not get alignment. Now you see this as we're here at 9:45, at 9:45, right? At 9:45, not necessarily the blue is below the red, because if we were looking for a sell, that would be correct. But my stochastic is pointed down. My stochastic is selling. So that's where the non-negotiable is. My stochastic needs to be going up. It was not until now, 3 minutes ago, that we got alignment. And what happens is we'll see this and it'll have gone. So sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. We don't want sometimes, we want all the time, right? All my trades in profit. So it's very, very, very important. So I'm gonna move this over here. It's very important that we have that alignment. Now, when I drop down to my 15, so this is where that alignment began, where we started. But once again, do we have confluence here? Absolutely not. So we really didn't have a trade until 9:30. Can you see that? Actually, not 9:30. This was 9:30. So this was 9:15. We really didn't have a trade until about 9:30, right? We didn't have alignment till about 9:30, right? Right? You with me? You see that? We didn't have alignment. We didn't have alignment. Now, I'm gonna move this one over to where we got some alignment, because what's a non-negotiable? And it might not have actually got to about right here, because that's like a string, I promise you it is. So here is where my stochastic began to move up on my 15. So I have alignment on my 5. Now, how do we enter a trade? Somebody help me. How do we enter the trade? I'm gonna bring this in just a little bit. So we finally have some alignment on my 1 hour and my 15. How do we enter a trade? Yes, exactly. So let's drop down to my 5. When I drop down to my 5 needs to be in alignment too. That needs to be in alignment too. And that's how you would have actually entered a trade. So when you see all of that in alignment, when I drop down to my 5 needs to be moving up as well. My 5 needs to be my stochastic, because honestly, this pullback, that means, so if you guys enter with this flat line, if you enter with this way, or if you enter with a flat line, what happens is you experience quite a bit of pullback. And that means that you're somewhere around a support and resistance line, which we are. We are definitely around that. Now, I haven't got to the support and resistance lines just yet. We're going to spend quite a bit of time on that tomorrow. But I just want you all to see and understand why it's important, because you see this zone right here. So that's what that is. Now, if you want an extra confirmation, for those of you all learning, like that blue line cross over the red, 15 minute, let's check our 4. Let's check our 4 hour as well. Because if my 1 hour and my 4 hour are in alignment, I'm in a good place. That's like the head of the household and the wife. That's like the husband and the wife. They're in a good alignment. They're in a good space. They're singing the same tune. We're in a good space. So let me talk to you about what that means, and then we'll come push the button just because, okay? And please, if you have any questions, comments, or testimonies, okay, let me know. Okay, so let me show you what happened over here. It looked like a news spike, but let me show you why I would check my 4 hour too. And when we get into the higher time frames, you'll begin to understand. How many of you all actually actively check both of them? How many of you all actively check both of them? Anyone? Okay, awesome, awesome. Now you'll understand why in just a minute, okay? Why in just a minute. So what happened is I have 2 triggers, okay? So, you know, I can press play again, but Euro AUD, it triggered for a buy. It triggered for a buy, UTC 30, which was right here. It also triggered for a buy here, okay? It triggered for a buy here and it triggered for a buy here, all right? Now, once again, it's always called in a correction, okay? So here, you see my trigger for a buy on my 15-minute chart. Okay, it's always called in a correction. When I come to my hour, so I already marked it up for the sake of time. So what happens, so this is that trigger point. So this is the support and resistance where it triggered. So, and my vertical lines are the time that it triggered. So you can see the correction here beginning to happen, but once again, what I didn't like is my flat line stochastic, okay? I did not like my flat line stochastic. My stochastic is flat line. What does that mean? If you hear somebody at the hospital and they be like, they flat line, what happened? They flat line, yes, they're dead. We don't want flat line, okay? A change is happening, a change is coming. If it's flat line, a change is coming. So here's my 15, okay? You see that? So there's my 15, but then it flatlined before we got an alignment up here. So then we triggered again, okay? We triggered again, but what was my stochastic, right? It triggered for a buy, so it's always caught in a correction. But even when I got the flat bottom candle and the PSAR, what was my stochastic doing? So these are all indications, because it hadn't pulled up just yet. It didn't pull up to here. What was my stochastic doing right here? Now, trust me, that little curve came because I saw this one. It was all this was straight down. So what was my curve? What was my stochastic doing? Exactly. So you don't want to get into those trades. You don't. It looked really promising, but you don't want to get into those trades. Now let's look at my confluence. So before this call, we had great confluence, right? Great confluence. My stochastic point in the air. Great confluence, great confluence. Let's turn this back on and see if it's shifted. Look, it just 10 minutes ago triggered for a buy again. So it's trying, but guess what? You know, guess what? Guess what is where we at? Look at what we are. What is my 4 hour doing? So what's my 4 hour doing? My 4 hour is everything has been in a sale. We just got a little curve. So ultimately down the road, we'll have a buy. But right now, would you have taken that buy? If I would have had you only check the hour, it's a possibility some of you all might have, right? Let's be honest. Because I'm walking you through it so detailed, some of you all might have taken that trade, correct? Right? But when you only check the hour, and even still, now some of y'all do. Yeah, I'm glad you said not really. I'm so glad. She said, not me, not really. But let's be transparent. Some people would take it. They would trade on this flat line, or they would have figured the stochastic was coming up because the hour was so strong, right? And they would have chanced it. And this is why it's important to follow the rules. You know, why it's so important to be disciplined, because that would have hit your stop loss. My stop loss goes below my P-star. It's not, I can't tell you if it's a 1 pip, 10 pips, just not at the P-star. So whether you use the 15 or the hour, you still would have hit stop loss, you know? So there you go, in the past before clarity. In the past before clarity, in the past. So we're gonna push this button just for the sake of getting comfortable, just for the sake of getting comfortable. But before I do that, I want to show you the setup, but do I have any questions, comments, or testimonies? Yep, 𝐥𝐤𝐤, 8% patience. I like it. I like it. Questions, comments, or testimonies? Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Questions, comments, or testimonies? Anybody? All right, so let me change my screen share. So hold on, before I do that. Let me change this. So who still needed that setup? Who still needed that setup? Anybody? Did anybody still need that setup for the MetaTrader 4? Did we all get it? Does everybody have their MetaTrader 4 set up? Nice and clear, awesome. Now this look a little blurry to me. I'll make them smaller for the next time. They kind of spanned out a little bit. But, so did everybody get it? Do I need to go through this for anybody? But there is something I want to point out to you guys. So that's why I pulled it up. But let me know if it's something I need to pull through. There is a few things I definitely want to be clear on. So, and I'm gonna go to the other one because it's a little bit clearer. So you need, what do you have, an iPhone or a Android? Android, let me back up. You guys have a few extra steps. And you have an iPhone, so we'll go through it all. Okay, so they're a little different. So Android, did you download the app and you install it? So once you open the app, so everybody should actually have the app downloaded. Please. So now here, where you see the 3 lines, and if somebody has an Android, if this has updated, let me know, because I do have an iPhone. I have not had an Android in over 10 to 15 years, I want to say, because I had both at one time because of work when I did do this thing called a job. But now all I have is iPhone products. So if it's updated or anything changes, somebody help us out. So here are the 3 lines that you're going to need, right? You're going to click that, and then you're going to click Manage Account. Are you with me? Let me know. Are you there? Okay, great. So now I'm gonna actually unlock this line. So where you guys can unmute if you need to. Now what's gonna happen is you're gonna open a demo account. In that demo account, you're gonna type 𝐥𝐤FX, okay? 𝐥𝐤FX is gonna pop up automatically. So you're gonna type that 𝐥𝐤FX and that's gonna pop up automatically, okay? That's gonna pop up right there. And then when we come here, you're gonna come like where you're gonna have to enter that personal information, okay? And please make sure this, I know on the iPhone, it kind of started defaulting to Bitcoin. Make sure this says 𝐥𝐤USD, okay? You wanna make sure it says 𝐥𝐤USD. And obviously the more leverage you have, the more space, your flexibility you have. That's a video in the Academy. And then for your USD, for that USD, you want to make that realistic. So the lowest you can go, and I'm gonna tell you guys this, okay? I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna say it. Do not, when you start trading, when you, even in your demo account, I don't care if you gotta have a demo account with $5,000, because I believe the lowest you can go is 3,000. If you are not going to begin to fund your account with $3,000, do not exaggerate your lot sizes, okay? Do not. You need to start at like a 0.01. Let's blue. All right. We are looking to be consistent because it has not failed me yet. I have not seen it happen one time. You guys start trading and start practicing with these astronomical lot sizes because the money looks great. When you get into your live account, it's not going to work out. So what I need you to do is, let's be realistic. You want to practice how you play. I love football. The Saints, yes, that's my team. So if I'm going to play for the Saints, would I practice with the Falcons? I don't even want to watch them. would I practice with them? And anybody that plays football, you will understand what I'm talking about. So if I'm gonna play with the Saints, would I ever go to the practice field of the Falcons? What about the Bucks? Would I go? Absolutely not. That's a hard no for me. So if I wouldn't do that, I need to practice with who I'm gonna play with. And then let me help you even further. Let me know when you get right here and you're ready for the next step. So, because I know we have the Android setting up. So what happens is, this is what I need you guys to understand as well. Do not use the MetaTrader 4 demo, because once again, you're not practicing with who you're gonna play with. You are what we call a retail trader. You are not a bank trader. Your broker is playing in the big leagues, not you. So the charts that we see, we're analyzing, but just like, let's get back on the interstate. Okay, we're on the interstate, we're on the highway, we're on the Autobahn, we're on the freeway, right? That's what we are, we're on that. Do you know that US 1 that rides alongside of the US highway that rides alongside the interstate? You all familiar with that? So like if there was ever an accident, you have to get off. If you guys use Waze, they tell you to get off, you get on the highway that runs parallel with the interstate, right? That's where you're trading. So whatever broker you choose, that's where you're trading. You're not trading in the same market with the banks, you're trading with your broker. So you're trading, if, for example, in this example is EagleFX, that means you're trading with EagleFX. EagleFX is trading in the big market. So you're a retail trader trading on the highway, riding along the interstate with your broker. So if you're using, have you ever used a MetaTrader 4 demo account, then wonder why it's different than EagleFX when you actually go set up a live broker? Well, it's because you was practicing with somebody else. You were practicing with a different team. And then you showed up on game day like, I'm ready. No, let's not do that. You want to practice how you play, okay? We want to practice how we play. So now, Android, where we at? Are you ready? Are we set up? So everybody, if you have MetaTrader 4, but you are using the MetaTrader 4 demo, I need you to change that now. Okay, I want you to demo with whoever you're gonna be your broker. So in this case, EagleFX does not require for you to set up a live account. You do it here, and you can have as many demo accounts as you need. So that's it. So you don't really need those credentials, because if it go away, just get you another one. Now, let's talk about the iPhone. Okay, let's talk about the iPhone. So with the iPhone, what you're doing is across the bottom where it says settings, okay? And you want to open that new account. So yes, you do need to put your name in. You have to fill that out or it will not let you go to the next screen. So you're going to put that in, and then, so with my iPhone, you with me? So you want to go ahead those settings and you want to click open a demo account. Open a demo account. Now, when you open a demo account, you're going to type in here EagleFX, and then that demo is going to pop up, and that's what you're going to select. Now, it's the same. So you just asked, do we put a name in? Yes. Put a name, number, email, and then, of course, you see the leverage. Now, please do select this USD, 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 USD. You have different options. USD, 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 okay? So are you guys with me? You with me? Now, one more thing I want to show you on your phone that's going to help you. One more thing I want to show you on your phone that's going to help you. Okay, one more thing. Now, what you're looking at is what we call the pips, okay? What we're looking at is the pips, okay? Now, I want you to keep this on advanced. So in everybody's account, I want you to keep this on advanced. Simple just is going to have the lot size. Now, it's just going to kind of have you're not going to see the spread. You're not going to see, that spread. You're not going to see any of this, okay? So you're just going to see the numbers on simple. You'll see the currency pair and the numbers. So I know on the iPhone, that is right there. You just click. Now for you Android users, somebody help us out. Somebody help out my Android family. How do we get to advanced? Because it's not that simple. Somebody for the Android, how do I get to my advanced? Somebody help me out. Nobody want to help me out? Does anybody know how to get there? Is everybody on simple? Is everybody on simple? That's what I said. Just go get you an iPhone. Does any Android user have? You're like, look, it's not me. You gotta. Everybody have an iPhone on the night. No, we have a new Android user. We do have one new Android. Does anybody have an Android that can help us out? So I'm gonna have to pass and say I'm sorry. But I need you to play with the settings and let's get to advanced, okay? So I do want you guys on advanced, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Everybody is like iPhone, iPhone, iPhone. So you see how simple the iPhone is? Just click, click, and it's right there. So obviously this is a chart, and honestly, I took this screenshot out of the Academy. So this is that explanation in the Academy. So where your pips lie. Now, the reason why the focus and the highlight is on 2, we do, okay, go ahead and unmute. Go ahead and unmute and tell us how to do it. Go ahead and unmute and tell us how to do it. Come save the day. Go ahead and unmute and tell us how to do it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, you got an echo.
Okay, all right.
You got two devices open as far as the phone and the computer.
Hold on, getting one off. Okay. All right. When you
gotta cut the mic off of one of them.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. We here.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. When you go to the thing, it says, well, you go to, like, you see EURUSD. If you look at that first number, if you just tap the first number.
Right here?
So, yeah.
Okay.
When you tap that number, a menu will come up and it'll say new order, open chart, symbol properties, and the last one will say advanced view mode. So
you guys with them? So right here, advanced view mode.
Yeah, you click on that, one of the options, you'll have 4 options. The bottom option will say advanced view mode. And then when you tap that, it'll take you to the advanced mode.
Thank you so much, because I would have never guessed that. So
playing with it for a little bit.
Thank you. And see, that's what happens when you have an Android. Now I'm just playing. But seriously, you want it here. So you guys heard, just go ahead and click that, click the advanced mode, and on the advanced mode, it's going to take you there. Now, let me show you how to read this. So we know from the Academy that our pip is the last number, okay? But what do we typically go for? Is our gain or our goal ever 5 pips, 2 pips, 3 pips, 8 pips? That's never like the goal. We typically start you at 10 pips in cash out or your first support and resistance line. So what happens is the 2 numbers are highlighted, okay? The 2 numbers here are highlighted. These are highlighted because, very simply put, right? This is the pip count. These are the numbers that you're using. So these are the pip count. These are the numbers that you're using. So you notice that in the Academy that is updated actually to show you that pip count. So this is where it's sectioned off. So with traditional, with all of them but JPY, it's going to be that 4th digit, right? It's going to be that 4th digit. And you can see they blocked off the 2 numbers because this is typically where we add and subtract. So you can see what they did is they just kind of counted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Pip count. So they dropped the pipette. The pipette, they always tell you to drop. The pipette is how the broker gets paid. So the pipette, if you win your trade, that's the broker fee, okay? That's how the broker gets paid. If you make a donation, then they get all of it. But the pipette is how the broker gets paid. So that's why it's always dropped, because it's only relevant to your broker. And so that's why that number is so little. Now, let's talk about your spreads. Not concerned about this one down here. Not concerned about that one because that's an exotic pair. Until you grasp it, I really don't want you focusing on all of that because it moves so fast. So while you're learning, you can kind of stay on your now of course you can do your indices. You can try whatever you want, but you have to understand support and resistance and a little market structure. As you learn that, then we start touching other things. Now, and do not mix them. Keep them in separate accounts. You should never have an account with your Forex pairs, your exotics, and your indices. Keep them in separate accounts. That's like keeping your bill money with your spending money. Do you do that? Well, let me ask you, if you budget properly or if you manage your money properly, do you do that? No. So if you manage your money, then you keep it separate. If you manage your money properly, you don't mix it. Because here you all shopping and now you just spent the rent money. No, we don't do that. Okay. Now you just spent the grocery money, you just spent the kids' dance money. No, they daycare. No, keep it separate. So you want to keep it separate. So what you're seeing is a spread. Now, if this spread is larger than about 15, I'm just throwing a number out there based on what I know, you're going to see these, the lower, the better. Once again, the spread is the broker fee, okay? So there are certain times when you go to trade like 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when the day is shifting and the day is switching, this might jump to 300. I don't know about you, but that's really like 30 pips. So how do you do 30 pips for 10 pips? It doesn't make sense, does it? So those are certain times you don't want to be in the market unless you're swing trading. So if I'm just scalping, then this has to make sense, right? If I'm just trying to do 10 pips zone to zone, this has to make sense, right? It has to make sense. So you notice that that's that spread on 1 pip. Look at that. So 52 to 53. That last number, that's why I said less than 15. So that last number is the broker fee. So you see how that's the 2 to the 3. So if you subtract these, what do you get? If I subtract these two numbers, so 0.69522, 0.69533, what do I get? What do I get? Somebody, anybody, everybody scream. Okay. Now, what's my pip at? What's my last number? What's my last number? What's my last number? My last number is what? No. Here, I'm sorry. Here. You were right where I was pointing. I'm supposed to be pointing right here. So my last number is what? A 1. So that means that the pipette, so that means that my actual pip, being that my pip is the 4th number. So what is my, how much of a spread am I really giving the broker? 1, exactly. So this is why I tell you guys, don't try to calculate the spread in there, because do I really need to adjust my trade for 1 pip? Right? This is not even a whole pip. This is not even a whole pip. So do I need to try to adjust my trade for not even a whole pip? So 6 of a pipette, 9 of a pipette? No, I don't. So you just wanted the lower, the better. And when you start getting to the exotics and you start getting that, so if you log on and you get ready to take a trade and it said like 300, that means that's 30 pips. Does that make sense for me to get 10 pips? No, it doesn't. So that's why we don't do that. So let's go take a trade real quick just to get familiar with the market. Now, everybody, if you do it, we're going to be in our demo account. But before we do it, any questions, comments, or testimonies? Questions, comments, or testimonies? Questions, comments, or testimonies? Questions, comments, testimonies, None. So everybody's with me. Let's see, what do we have going on here? The market is kind of slow right now. Let me see. What can we do? Let's come over here. Let's see, do we have any triggers? I'm not going to go pull a scanner right now. We're not going to do that. So, and I'm for my new people, and guess what? This is not about if the trade ends in profit. It's not about any of that. See, we already know this is not a confluent trade. We know that. So tell me, okay, let's analyze this together. Let's do this together. This is live. What do we have here? Somebody, right? Somebody who wants to unmute and walk me through this. Let me get a hand. Who wants to unmute and walk me through this? Anybody? Okay, come on. Is that Lady T? Come on, Lady T.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello. Walk me through this. Let's analyze this trade together.
Okay.
So what am I looking at first?
The first thing you're going to look at on your 15-minute chart is your stochastic.
Okay, I'm on my 15-minute and my stochastic. So what are we looking at?
Right now, it looks like the blue line is crossing over the red in a downward momentum.
Okay. And what's next?
Then after that, we look at our candle.
Okay.
And our current candle is a red candle with a flat top.
Okay.
And we also have a P-star flip.
Fantastic. So now what do we do? So everybody in agreement, we have a strategy set up, correct? Everybody in agreement with her? Okay, let's keep going. Where do I go next?
Next, we want to go to the 1-hour chart.
Okay, let's go.
And on this chart, once again, we're going to go to our stochastic first.
Okay.
Which is actually the blue line is crossing over the red in a upward momentum.
Aha. Okay.
Which is opposite of the 15.
Okay, so what does that mean?
That means we don't have confluence.
Absolutely. That's exactly what that means. So let's come up here and see. Ha-ha. Ta-da. So let's talk about this. Thank you kindly. So will we take this trade for a sale?
No.
Okay, absolutely. I see it wasn't a trick question. I just needed everybody else to have clarity. So it wasn't a trick question. So now, so let's look. We happen to have a buy. So now when you look at it, my GBP CAD triggered for a buy. So let's mark this as well. Okay, let's mark this. And we might just push the button for the sake of time, right? Because I do want you guys to get familiar. Okay. But we're not, so we want to do that. So let's see, 54986, and it triggered for a buy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of this. So when you come, you said she's brave. You never know what you're gonna get when you're on a call with me. So when you see this, what is this always triggered in? Somebody help me out. It's triggered in a what? Somebody help me out. It's triggered in a correction. Absolutely. So that is another indication that we weren't going to take a sell because it had a sell set up, but we didn't have confluence because the correction, this is a correction, right? So once again, what is my call price is what? My call price is what? My call price is what? Yes, a support and resistance line. So if I scrunch up my charts just a little bit, can you see that support and resistance? Some of you guys are new and don't know what that is just yet, but that's okay. Trust me, that was one of my things when I first got started. I remember looking at these charts and my son would be like, Ma, you don't know what that is? He was like, just look to the left. I'm like, I know what my left is, but what is over there? You know, and I just remember going back and forth with him because he'd be like, Ma, how can you not see that? I'm like, see what? So yes, we're going to focus on support and resistance when you come back tomorrow night. Okay. So you see that GBP CAD. Okay. And so what we're seeing on my 1 hour, you can see that buy right there. And also on my 4 hour. Now you look at my stochastic starting to get that curve up. We're not quite where we would want to take a trade, but you can see how it was caught in a correction. Okay. So I'm trying to see if there is something that we can do that says we could push the button and I not put you at a stop loss. That's just where the market is right now. So this, okay, so we have that. We have, no, we don't want that one. I want to just put y'all out there in the stop loss. That's everything is kind of in a corrective state. So what happens is the market, if you notice that right before the London session opens, that the market kind of goes to sleep. So the market consolidates a little bit at night. And so it's starting to get around 11, 12 o'clock. It really starts slowing down some. And that's based on the fact these are the less liquid markets. And that's why we train in the evenings. That's why we train in the evenings and implement in the mornings, because the London session has the most liquid, the most volatile, which is great for trading. It's great for trading. It's quite a bit of. If you guys see in, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna push the button. We're just gonna push it and we're gonna pray for the best. No, I'm just playing. Now, the only reason why I want to do this is because of the simple fact that I want you all just to kind of get a feel for it. So this is not about taking a trade. Obviously, I'm being very clear. So please, nobody get your live account. Please, can you promise me win a demo? Demo. If you've never pushed a button before, this is to get you comfortable. So you guys remember when you were little and you just got pushed off the swimming pool, off the ledge of the swimming pool, and somebody was like, good luck, and they just pushed you out there. But then now you should be able to at least doggy paddle, right? So you remember, oh, is that just my testimony? That I pushed at my auntie house and then my cousin went back inside and I had to figure out how to get out of the pool by myself? Is that just my testimony? Okay. So, and I ain't like him, I ain't talked to him for like a whole month. Yeah, oh, okay, you too. So I'm pushing y'all in the water. So this is what we're gonna do. So get GBP CAD. Go to your phones and let's get GBP CAD. Demo, please. Say it with your chest. Demo account. Please say it with your chest. Demo. As you can see, we do not have a proper setup, okay? We just, and that's why we took the time to go through it. We pulled a trigger, we analyzed it. But I have people on here who have never pushed a button, right? I have a few people on here who have never pushed a button. So this is just to get you comfortable, okay? This is just to get you comfortable. That is what this is. All right, let's just go to GBP USD. This is just to get you going. We're going to open it, we're going to close it. We're going to open it real quick and we're going to close it real quick. We're going to open it real quick and we're going to close it real quick. All right? So GBP USD, are we ready? 555 in the chat. Do we have it open? GBP USD. $555 in the chat. Okay, I got some 555s and some yeses. Okay, so with GBP USD, I want you guys to go ahead and get that MetaTrader 4 open, and everybody has it set up, and I need you to select GBP USD, all right? GBP USD. Now, for those of you all who are kind of like myself, who needed something, so you can go to the chart or you can go to trade. And I used to go to the chart because I used to want to I don't know, I do a lot of confirmation. So for those of you all, you can go there and then click trade to verify that you're on the right thing, but it's a personal thing. So then we're going to do market execution. Okay. Now in the middle, you'll want you to see, does that say 0.01? In the middle, it should say 0.01. All right. 0.01. You guys see that? Look at this. We just tapping over here. I'm trying to see if we're gonna try a buy or we're gonna try a sell. Which one we gonna try real quick? This thing is just like, we just gonna push the button. That's what we doing. Once again, this is not a real trade. I'm giving you your disclaimer. Okay, this is not a real trade. This is to assist you in facilitation of you pushing a button. So you see, we're gonna look at this 1 minute. You see how it is bouncing around this support and resistance line. So this is, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I said GBP USD. This is GBP CAD. I done switch screens. So let me see. Maybe that's better because I clicked the thing. I did tell you guys to get GBP USD. So let's pull up GBP USD since everybody has that open already. This might be work. Yeah, let's go. Okay. So now we at GBP USD. So now with GBP USD. Now, does everybody have it at a 0.01? Everybody at a 0.01. We got about 5 minutes left. Everybody at a 0.01. With me? All right. So I want you to go ahead and click that sell by market, this market execution. So it should be, so I think it's just sell on the Android, but sell by market. All right. So we're gonna click that sell by market. I click mine too, okay? So now you might be in the hole automatically, right? We in the hole? We automatically went in the hole. So now you see it should be red, correct? It's red. That means that's that initial pullback that we always enter in. So now somebody give me an entry point. Somebody give me an entry point. Once again, this is your disclaimer. This trade was not analyzed properly. We are just getting very comfortable with the market. So for my individuals who have never taken a trade before, are you in the trade? Are you in the trade? My individuals for the very first time, I have 2 of you all on here. Are we in the trade? So, okay. Are we in the trade? Did we push the button? My individuals on here with me for the very first time. Did we push the button? Do I need to call your names? Go ahead and push that button. Click sell, 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 sell. Sell with me, sell. Push that button. I'm pushing you in the water. We got 2 minutes left on the call. That means I got to push you in real quick. I'm pushing, I'm pushing. Are you in the water? So Miss Celeste Appleton, Miss Renee Young, did we push the button? Did we push the button? And I'm calling you too. Okay, you push. Yes, we pushed the button. Yes. All right, so I see where we entered the trade, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that on the chart. So I have 2 of you all that pushed it in there, and we're gonna mark that on the chart. So we have that 1.20738. So this is where you got in, all right? That's where we got in the trade. So now somebody give me my pip count. That would be my take profit. Somebody give me my 10 pips. That would be my take profit. What would my take profit be? Once again, your disclaimer is this trade was not properly analyzed. So we're just practicing. I just pushed you in the water. That's not how you properly learn how to swim. So what would my 10 pip take profit be? Okay. Let's put that on there. 1.20638. Can anybody verify? Is that accurate? Is that accurate? Is that accurate? Can anybody verify? So that's what yours would be based on where you entered. Based on where we just entered, based on this number, is that accurate? Okay. So that's where our 10 pips would be, correct? So that's where our 10 pips. Does anybody have any question on how they got that? Anybody have any question on how they got that? Nobody? Awesome. So let's come over here. For the sake of training, where would my stop loss be? For the sake of training, where would my stop loss be? Somebody help me out. We're going to use the PSAR right here. Pretend this is the 15-minute chart. We're doing a lot of hypotheticals right now. So once again, this trade was not properly analyzed, okay? I'm giving you your disclaimer, but I just want you comfortable pushing the button. What would my stop loss? Is this where my stop loss will be? So do you see how I did that? It is just above the PSAR, whether it was here, here, here. It could be here, it could be way up here. It's up to you. That's your personal risk management. So that's where my stop loss is. So any questions on how we just took that trade? So I have Miss Renee Young. So now how do I enter these numbers? So everybody go ahead and click the trade. So you have the trade. So in the middle, it says trade. Do we all see that? Where it says trade. It says trade, right? Now you want to kind of hold that and push down on it, and then you get the pop-up. And that pop-up, you see where it says modify. You see, guys, see that? Now when we click modify, that's where you want to enter those numbers. So on the iPhone, it says take profit. On the Android, it just clearly says green. It's just green. It's nothing, it's no guidance. They do not care about you. So on the other one, it's red. So you see it on the iPhone, it says stop loss and it says take profit, right? So that's what you're doing. So does that make sense? Right? All right. So are we in there? Are my two individuals that have never taken a trade before, were you able to actually put in that modification where you have that stop loss and you have that take profit? Did we do it? Yes. So I have Miss Renee Young, Miss Celestine Appleton. Yes, yes, yes. Are you with me? We all pushing the button tonight. What is a stop loss? We just drop it above the PSAR. So remember, this is hypothetical. So we put a PSAR right here. So I just threw it above. So you'll start. So right here we have a 1.20846. We're gonna talk because I need you pushing this button too, but we'll talk offline. We'll make sure you push that button. We'll walk through that. So I'll be talking to you tomorrow. All right, everybody's. So anybody have any questions, any comments? Doesn't it feel good to push the button? Even though I'm going to give you, the defined script disclaimer. We did not properly analyze this trade, okay? So we did not properly analyze this trade. So you don't see it, that's okay. We'll walk through it, it's okay. All right, now you do have to press, if you're talking about taking a trade or modifying the trade. Taking a trade or modifying the trade. I want you to see how it is reacting. You see it's bouncing up. Maybe we should have took the buy. Who knows? We'll see it's reacting. So taking a trade. So when you push the currency pair, the GBP USD, when you press the actual currency, then what happens is there will be a pop-up. So you will be able to trade. You'll be able to trade from there, or you'll be able to go to the chart. So you can click trade. You see that? If not, like I said, I'll help walk you through it tomorrow. We can walk through because I want to make sure you're able to do it. You're very welcome, because everybody's going to push the button, and this is how we get comfortable. So any other questions, comments, or testimonies, ladies and gentlemen? Questions, comments, testimony. Did today help you? Did tonight help anybody? Did today help you? Was today helpful? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what we're going to be doing, just so, can we also discuss, let me see, how to load the correct. Now, you don't need to update your MetaTrader 4, okay? You don't need to. What we focus on tonight is all you need to do. So you analyze the trades, on the vibrato, you enter the trades in your MetaTrader 4. So it's really no need to go in and update the information. So focusing on the lot size, focusing on the currencies. You notice we didn't go to the charts, we didn't analyze on there, we did not do any of that. So yay, you pulled a trigger, yay! I'm so excited. So it's not necessary to really get into that MetaTrader 4. You analyze here, you enter the trade there. Now, for those of you all that just might want to close it out, right? For those of you all that just might want to close it out, you can go ahead and highlight it, because once again, you're in your demo account, so you can let it play out just to get a good feel for it, or you can go ahead and highlight that again, press that button again, and go ahead and just click close. All right? You can just go ahead and close the trade. So you can manually close a trade, okay? We can definitely manually close the trade. So if you guys want to just go ahead and close the trade, you can go ahead and close the trade. All right. So now just to help you all understand our call schedule, the way our call schedule works is tonight is the basics. As you can see, it is to really help you get very familiar with the platform, very familiar with pushing the button, very familiar with, really truly understanding how to navigate and begin to read. Tomorrow, we're going to focus on, once again, the strategy, but we're going to dive deep and heavy into your support and resistance lines, okay? We're going to do that because they are your lifeline. So I want you to be able to see. Now, I'm talking about our evening calls at 9 p.m. On Wednesday, that is your high frequency Forex. And so that call obviously is going to have a different focus, but once again, support and resistance lines. And then on Thursday is going to be the advanced. So we're going to analyze the market from the top-down approach. Now, what's also going to happen is in the mornings, you're going to have your 5 a.m. and your 9 a.m. calls, where your 5 a.m. is your basics, where you build off of these Monday and Tuesday night calls, and you begin to utilize the tools for implementation. Immediately following that call, as of right now on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you do have your HFX. There is some changes coming to get you more engaged and to really kind of help bridge that gap. And then also at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is actually the implementation of the higher time frames. It's the implementation of the higher time frames. So we can definitely focus on that. So that is the purpose of the call schedule, and it's to really help you all engage and become profitable. All right. So keep showing up. Let's keep trading together. Let's keep changing the world together. And also we have our BYOB Kingdom Currency that we also want you to participate in. So that will also be a focus of our calls. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We're going to pray this call out. So Father God, we just come to you right now saying thank you. God, we just lift your mighty name and we give you all praise and glory. Father God, as we move forward, God, as we begin to navigate and as we begin to create the change, God, we thank you for allowing us to be the change. God, we thank you for allowing us to just consistently lift you, to just consistently thank you, because it is you that brought us together. It is you that collectively put us together, God, and we just thank you for who you are and all that you are. And God, for everybody that's on this call, I ask that you remove those financial blinders. God, I pray that you remove anything that is stopping them from seeing these charts with clarity. God, I pray that everybody on this call, life is changed by the skill set that we're learning, the legacies are shifted, and that we continuously praise you and we keep you first, that whereas everybody that sees us and sees this movement sees you. Because this is kingdom business, God. This is about you and glorifying your name. In Jesus' name, we praise you. Amen. So, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We love you. We love you. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless, and you all have a wonderful evening.